Hi
Hi guys,
guys,
welcome back again to the channel. Today we are going to be continuing the series we started, Why We Fight the Battle of Britain, and let's get right into today's reaction.
reaction.
Hello, gunfire in the southeast. Right.
I think at this point they're warning them about imminent
Yeah,
danger.
there was an attack coming already, so they need to leave the environment.
But the workers kept on working. And the RAF kept on flying.
What?
These
I
two
was
men
saying
with
they need to
wings
leave
alone in the
environment.
sky, behind their motors and
I thought
machine
they
guns,
will actually escape.
were shooting down more than the
for safety.
Luftwaffe. They were smashing the whole Nazi plan of world conquest.
Any claims, Johnny?
109 destroyed, Freddie, yes.
Oh, good show. How'd you get on, sir?
I had a wonderful party, thanks.
Are you all right? You get any of the batters?
Yes, I got a Messerschmitt 109 in Adonia.
Between August 24th and September 5th, 35 major attacks were launched. They cost the Germans 562 planes, while the British lost only 219 planes and saved 132 pilots. Invasion plans were going completely haywire. The Nazis were blind with rage. The German mind has never understood why free people fight on against overwhelming odds. Hitler now knew he was superior in every weapon except the weapon of spirit. So he told
Precisely.
Goering, break that spirit, crush the people, crush the spirit of democratic life itself. Invasion now would have to wait. The Nazis would avoid the RAF and smash the great city of London into the rubble heap they had made of Warsaw and Rotterdam.
Could London take it? Even the people themselves didn't know the answer.
You know, they
The
actually
defenses they
crumbled
trusted
Warsaw.
in were
They
London's
tried to do the
hastily
same thing in
assembled
London.
anti-aircraft, the Ack guns, the balloon barrage which kept the raiders at high altitudes, the Royal Air Force, now down to its last reserves, and the plain, downright guts of the people. They sent more children out of the city.
In face of all of this battle, they are children.
Yeah, all this
Tightened air raid
because of the action of
precautions.
one man.
Stationed more airplane spotters, rehearsed firefighters, moved into bomb shelters. They blacked out their city and carried on.
The first blow, aimed to crush the British spirit, came on September 7th.
Roof reports planes coming in. Control room speaking.
Customers and staff will now take cover in the basement. Please do not run, but keep moving.
Down the stairs, or you can use the escalator.
Third floor, clear.
Second floor clear.
First floor, clear.
That day, when 375 German planes came roaring up the Thames River, the Battle of Britain became the Battle of London. The Germans broke through the charge of Hurricanes and Spitfires that went out to meet them. any pretense of aiming at military objectives. This was just savage destruction.
Dropping bombs
like it's candy. An act of sheer wickedness. Do you know that the first time there was a video about this battle, I think the 13 hours that saved Britain, right? Yeah. When we watched that video, right, I honestly thought, right, that the Germans kind of like attacked the civilians unintended. But watching this now, you could see that this is a clear definition of them wanting to break the spirit of the breathing. And that is why they attack the infrastructures, the civilians, a highly populated area that they know that civilians are. It's an act of wickedness. I say this and I say this to tomorrow. His exit is the I hate the way he exited this world. I wish he was caught.
He went through the short route.
I wish he was caught and faced the justice of his crimes. Sorry for that pause. Look at dropping.
Bombs fell alike on the homes of the East End poor and the Mayfair rich, on shops, hospitals, churches.
Wait, they dropped it on hospitals? Wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm pausing a lot. I thought there was this how do you call it? I don't know whether it's a code that prevents any nation from attacking any hospital vessels.
In that World War II, no code, no rules were taken.
Oh.
It was just bizarre all along. Just do whatever you want to do. Kill, and it's so wrong.
For 28 days, the Nazis were to drop everything in the book on the city of London. Tons upon tons of high explosives. Delayed action bombs that exploded days later. Torpedoes that sheared away whole buildings. And underneath the war in the air,
buildings?
The war of the man in the street went on. He learned to exist with very little food. He forgot what it meant to have a night's sleep, spending most of his time underground in the damp and dark and cold.
Hello, Mrs. Fox. You're here early tonight.
Well, I'm on the safe side, aren't I?
I think that'll be all right now.
Yes, that's grand.
Anyway, I'll be back in a few minutes if you want.
Now, how are we going to get you up there?
Get a young man to lift you up. Tiny?
Hello.
Come, this young lady a lift up.
Righto, I'm coming. Oh, well.
The air raid wardens stayed at their posts. Doctors and nurses worked on steadily as the bombs crashed all around them. Rescue squads labored night and day.
Hey, Gordon, I found her.
Wasn't it game that was defeated?
Firemen said, nuts to the bombs, and battled to put out fires. This was life in the Blitz. Against all the rules of Nazi warfare, Britain was refusing to crumple up.
Across the Channel, the enraged Goering took personal command of the operations. And on September 15th, he sent the Luftwaffe into one of its greatest attacks. .500 German bombers and Messerschmitt fighters roared over the English coast.
Starmouth calling. Planes heard 3 miles southwest.
Out for hostile planes approaching from the southwest.
The British met the challenge by throwing in everything they had.
I think what they were trying to do with those period, right, was to like crumble the RAF district, like crumble all the airplane they had, and then just come and attack immediately. Do you get? They're
Yeah.
trying to finish all their weapons, like for
Yes,
them
all
to
their air
exhaust
defense.
yeah,
Because they know that if the air defense is there,
down.
they can't actually attack on the ground because their fighters will be taken out by the air,
Guys, yeah, they hear because sending 500, like hundreds of airplane, like
at once.
An historic three-dimensional battle took place inside an area 60 miles long, 38 broad, and from 5 to 6 miles high.
Just traumatic, very, very traumatic.
200 individual dogfights took place within the first 30 minutes of the raid.
Right on our own doorstep. Oh, what a splash. Centre calling London 1.
Thank you, Centre. We'll keep a lookout for them. Hostile formation to the south.
Some of the German bombers broke through London's defenses.
Yeah.
And reached the center of the city.
Of the country, man, these are people's lives.
Oh, the tinettes, okay.
Doggy! Doggy, where are you? Blimey, I thought they'd got you.
Who, me? Nah, I had me fingers crossed.
Air Ministry communique. The biggest bag yet. 185 enemy aircraft shot down. End of message.
Of the 500 German planes that came over that day, more than 1/3 were shot down.
In the 28 days of terror from September 7th to October 5th, the Nazis dropped 50 million pounds of bombs on the city, killed 7,000 helpless civilians, and wounded 10,000 more. Bombs fell on Buckingham Palace. Westminster Abbey.
All these for what?
The Houses of Parliament. Fleet Street, the center of the news. St. Paul's Cathedral. Bombs blasting the historic past out of the lives of Englishmen. But in these 28 days, the Nazis lost 900 planes and their crews. The more they sent over, the more were shot down. The British Spitfire had proved to be one of the deadliest weapons ever put in the hands of man. If this kept up, pretty soon no more Luftwaffe.
The frantic Nazis had to pull a new one. They did. On October 6th, they changed to night attacks. Maybe that way they could avoid those deadly Spitfires and Hurricanes. Maybe that way they could crush the stubborn British spirit. Never mind control of the air. Never mind Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Now to concentrate on bombing the people themselves into submission and make them cry for mercy.
Cry for mercy.
Exactly.
Hostile raids then.
Came at night.
I don't know which one is night because of the color of the different background.
This color is like darker. See what they did? Came at night, so they didn't know where they are coming from, because during the daytime they can actually identify, okay, this is the position they are in. They came at night where everywhere is like literally dark.
The RAF wasn't much help at night. This was just German bombs against British guts.
Harvey? Hello, Jack. Sound happy enough down there tonight, don't they?
Yes, they're all right.
The great docks of London were left roaring infernos. Homes were destroyed by incendiaries.
Now at this point, they're not even bothered about the location they are.
Still, the people of London took it. Night after night, they burrowed underground. And morning after morning, they dug themselves out of the wreckage.
Good morning, Mrs. Ford. Good morning, Miss Ryan. See you tonight. Righty-o. Come on, Betty. Would you like to sit down? Thanks.
Morning, Miss Ryan. Sleep well?
Fine, thanks. Wasn't it a quiet night?
What about the one that came down about 2?
No, I didn't hear it. Did you? No.
Oh, we're getting used to them around here.
See the way they are casually joking about it. Finding a way to cope with a disastrous situation. And I don't blame them. Because that is the only thing they literally have, and that is what the Germans were after at that time, the Nazis. They were trying to break their spirit of hope. But they never relented. They never give up.
Don't you think you'd better go away from this for a bit?
Of course not. It'd take more than this to get me out of my home. Now go on, you've got to get to work.
Okay.
The Battle of London was the battle of the people of the city. In spite of bombs and fire and death,
you know what I
they got to
sorry,
their
I want to
desks
back
and
this up.
workbenches to
My
spend.
brain
In
kind of like
spite them
processed
was
it
the
very
battle.
late.
Of course not.
Right?
Don't you think you'd better go away from this for a bit?
Of course not. It'd take more than this to get me out of my home. Now go on, you've got to get to work.
Okay.
Like my brain kind of like, I don't know if that's the husband. He was like, why don't you go away for a bit? He said it would take more than this to take me away from my home.
Speaking.
That's a woman. Oh. You know, I felt so proud when she said that. I know it's not like she's. I don't know her, you know, but I felt so proud
The
that
spirit
the
is
spirit in her.
unbending. It does not relent. Wow.
Battle of the people of the city.
Just
In
the
spite
battle
of bombs
Britain,
and
the battle
fire
of
and
the
death,
people.
Of the people.
they got to their desks and workbenches to spend another 10 or 12 hours working. The British spirit was stronger than ever. And they are, but farther.
SIO, operation for tonight. GP 1562, EP 781, 10 aircraft. You'll find, I think, a decent photograph of the submarine yards there.
There's a very good one taken the other night, Monty.
Was there?
A bit further along.
This is the one.
That's it. Those are the submarine yards. Just there.
Yes.
Well, chaps, this is your target for tonight. It's the submarine and shipbuilding yards at Bremen. It's a vitally important target, and it's got to be hit hard.
In the midst of this life and death struggle, the British found strength not only to defend, but to counterattack with what
Wow.
few bombers they could get together.
And even as much as they are low on this thing, they even dare to counterattack. That's the spirit.
C for Charlie, airborne, sir.
Hello, rear gunner. Can you hear me?
I'm okay, Skipper.
Hello, operator. Everything okay?
Well, it seems to be all here, sir.
Nice. How will you know the enemy aircraft?
Honestly. Damn.
Stand by. I'm going in a glide.
Steady.
I got a bullseye with the last one.
Here was the RAF giving it back.
I love it.
Hitler cried, "Night gangsters! For this crime I will exact 1,000-fold revenge."
Shut up.
All the available German night bombers were put into the air.
What I'm just seeing is just sparks of light.
The 1,000-fold revenge was Coventry. On the night of November 14th, £1 million of bombs were dropped on the city. Coventry was smashed as flat as Warsaw and Rotterdam.
I'm sorry, I have a question to ask, right? You know, all this started when Britain heavily invaded Poland, right? So when this Battle of Britain, no, sorry, I'm so sorry.
The Nazi.
So when this Battle of Britain is going on, like all other country, like where's the Nazis still attacking them at that point, or they just focus solely and mainly on the Britain to weaken their forces and their, their spirits?
You see, the thing is this, right? As of then, right, I don't think this inter-world relationship existed.
They were allies.
Do you understand? I don't think they were allies like then.
Yeah.
Britain and the US.
Britain and Poland.
Okay. I don't really know about them, but one thing again you should look at is this, right? When a conflict is between two countries, right? Most of the time, other countries don't just rush and jump in until they see it is going to be there's going to be an escalation. Do you understand? So I'm going to use example like most recent conflicts. You see, the only thing they could do is support with ammunition and all those things. It is when they see that it's going to cause a global
war.
Do you understand? I think that's when other countries
come in.
I know that's just my idea, my own understanding of it, though. But it might be something else. So please help us in the comment section.
You.
The people of Coventry dug their loved ones out of the blasted ruin, saw them to their last resting place in a common grave.
Hitler could kill them, but damned if he could lick them. They went back to their lathes and machines, for they knew the machine bench was as deadly a weapon as the rifle. And in their hearts was a grim determination that this enemy must be destroyed. That the day was coming when they would strike back, and how they would strike back.
Christmas, 1940.
Oh, wow.
Wait, how long did the conflict go on?
I think for like 7 years or so, or 5.
What?
For 5 years or 6.
You know, I thought this thing was just something that happened within a few days.
Christmas, season of peace on earth, goodwill toward men, was the ironic quiet before Hitler's great burst of rage against a people who couldn't be licked. Bomb them into submission, so he would burn them to ashes.
Millions of firebombs rained down on the great city of London. Minutes, more than 1,500 different sections of the city burst into roaring flames. Flames that swiftly merged into the greatest fire in recorded history. In the midst of all the fire and destruction, vital water mains were shattered. Water pressure was almost entirely cut off. Heroes of the night were men of the London Fire Brigade who stretched temporary hose lines out to the center of the Thames River, struggling through mud and slime. For the Nazis had carefully picked a night on which the Thames River had one of the lowest ebb tides on record. And while London burned above them, the people of the city held on. Chin up and thumbs up. They knew this was the people's war, and they were the people. And a people that couldn't be panicked, couldn't be beaten. In the months to come, the British were to suffer many such bombings and burnings. But a nation that calls on cold courage when hot courage runs thin may die, but it can't be defeated. The Battle of Britain was won, but not by Hitler. Hitler had lost the battle. He had lost 2,375 German planes and their crews. For the first time, it was the Germans who ate the bitter dirt of defeat. Gone was the legend of their invincibility. For a solid year, the Nazis struck Britain with all their might. They leveled thousands upon thousands of homes and damaged millions of others. They killed more than 40,000 men, women, and children, and seriously wounded 50,000 more. But not one single Nazi soldier set foot on British soil. But Hitler couldn't stop, and in our next film we will show how he had to turn to the east again.
What?
Really?
Why did the Nazis lose the Battle of Britain? First, because a regimented people met an equally determined free people, and the free people made them quit cold.
We've been bombed, dive bombed, high-level bombed, machine gunned, been through 2 invasion scares. The last lot we had the house down about our ears. But we're still sticking it, and we're going to stick it.
Second, because this was a new kind of war, and the RAF were the men who could fight it. These were the men who belonged to what Hitler called those weak, soft democracies. The British did more than save their country. They won for the world a year of precious time. It was not only for the people of Britain, but for the people of the world that Winston Churchill spoke when he said,
"Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few."
Actually took them more than
Yeah.
their life to win the battle.
Yes.
So
And
thousands of
the
people.
enemy actually struck
Really
them where
hard.
it will really hurt. They went after the people, they went after their hope, they went after everything that makes them a free nation. They wanted to destroy the democracy. But they failed. They failed. Because the thing they don't understand is there's a difference between them and the Nazi soldiers as of then. The Nazis were fighting to dominate, to take away. But the British people were fighting for their home, for their families, for their loved one. And there is nothing that can motivate a man more than this. Nothing in this world. There is nothing for you to have the love of to defend your nation, to defend your home. If you want to attack somebody outside, there is a different way you approach. But when the person comes to your home to attack you, you will use all your power, all your might to defend your home.
Even at the detriment of lives of millions of people, thousands of people, like they still stood and fight. I think the battle they had that night was actually one of the terrifying battles I've seen so far, because it's night. You're not even seeing the enemy aircraft. You're just trying to, do whatever
Do
you have
whatever
to
you can
do for
do.
your people to survive, and that's actually really a lot, to be honest. And seeing each person in Britain, then from women down to to
Children.
men to children, actually put all effort together to make this victory possible. It's really a lot, to be honest, because
Huge.
I can't imagine the Nazi taking over Britain and what will happen afterward. I think
To
now
that,
the
to
world
that.
would have been, I don't know what it would look like. Well, it would be dark, to be honest.
Well, I honestly believe that would have, damaged history a lot.
Yeah.
Would have changed the course of the human race by
The
a whole
history.
lot different. You understand? And like I said, I'm really grateful, and I really love the fact that the RAF never gave
Give
an
up.
inch.
Yeah. They never give up.
So,
And they're very strategic, because hundreds of aircraft, but at the end of the day, they bring nearly 1/10 of it down at each fight, at each battle. There's a lot of work and a lot of strategy from them, and we really do appreciate the Britain for this great, revolution they brought to history. Like, they actually turned the bad history into a good one currently, and may God continue to bless the Britain and their mind and their might as well. We love you guys. We'll see you guys on our next one. Do not forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Bye, guys.